July the 4th, America's Independence Day, when the world's most powerful republic celebrates freedom from tyranny and colony. Democrats fear that the Supreme Court's ruling this week to virtually guarantee a president's immunity from prosecution helps Trump stay out of jail and could hand him the very powers of a king that America was created to resist. A message echoed by Democrat governors who huddled with Biden yesterday in the West Wing to see for themselves if he can still function.
Do you think he's fit for office?
Yes, fit for office.
President Joe Biden is in it to win it. And all of us said we pledged our support to him because the stakes could not be higher.
Did you see Trump last night? I mean it sincerely, the most lies told in a single debate.
The message pushed by the Biden campaign in a brand new ad. In post and with autocue, the president still looks forceful. But can America ever unsee or unhear this live performance?
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
President Biden hopes that personal contrition finally uttered yesterday might help.
I had a bad night. And the fact of the matter is that, I screwed up. I made a mistake.
But as America sweats its way through the holiday, Democrats panic. They can't really live with Mr. Biden, and they can't quite or yet live without him. The name of Vice President Kamala Harris as a possible replacement has come out of the shadows. Bring it on was Mr. Trump's message from the golf course on the buggy next to his son.
He's quitting the race. Is that right? Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic. It's so amazing. It's just so
Vintage off-color from convict dad and a deadly serious message from the people planning the second Trump presidency.
We are in the process of the second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Buckle up. The choice is still Trump or Biden, swagger or stagger.
Well, Joe Biden himself asked for that TV debate for one reason. He was behind in the polls and he bet on himself winning the debate and winning back support. It backfired. The post-debate polls on average show Biden falling further behind Donald Trump. But one poll really seems to have spooked Democrats. The New York Times poll the day before the debate was already bad for Biden, 6 points behind Trump with registered voters. But after the debate, it showed Biden 9 points behind Trump. That was an eye-opener. Now, despite his age, the case for Biden was always that he is the best candidate to beat Donald Trump. Now, though, there is open talk of who might do better. And there's still time to switch the Democratic nominee, by the way. Let's turn now then to a CNN poll from after the debate. That shows Biden is 6 points behind Trump. But look at Kamala Harris, the vice president, better placed than Biden, just 2 points behind Trump in a hypothetical matchup. And while many see her as the most likely to step in, there are others, less well-known mind, in the mix. Gavin Newsom, 5 behind Trump. Like Kamala Harris, he's from Democratic heartland California, and some say neither of these two, therefore, have that vital track record with swing voters. Gretchen Whitmer, by contrast, is governor of a swing state, Michigan, also 5 behind Trump. On to another post-debate poll now then. Here, Biden and Donald Trump are a dead heat. That's one his campaign will be happy with. Harris, 1 point behind Trump in this poll, and Gretchen Whitmer 5 behind Trump. But only one Democrat actually beat Donald Trump in this poll. Who is it? Former First Lady Michelle Obama, who's repeatedly rejected the idea of running, a huge 11 points ahead of Donald Trump. So they're national polls, but in the coming days, everyone in US politics is watching how Biden polls against Trump, specifically in the battleground swing states that decide presidential elections. Remember, Biden won the presidency in 2020. based on just 44,000 votes in the swing states. That's how important they are. And if Biden's numbers are bad in the swing states, the calls to replace him will grow louder.
Thanks, Kieran. Well, earlier I spoke to John Scardina from Democrats Abroad, the official Democratic Party arm for the millions of Americans living and voting outside the United States. I began by asking how worried he is about the mental acuity of his party's nominee.
Look, I think Joe Biden is a very strong candidate. He's certainly been a very strong president. He did not have a great night. Even he has said, when he met with the governors last night, he said, you know, I screwed up. So it's unfortunate. But, you know, the guy is running a major country. I mean, not a major country. He's running the biggest superpower in the world. It's not unusual that he would be a bit fatigued. But I think that
hang on a
those
minute. Sorry, John, to interrupt you there. But, you know, a bit fatigued. I mean, it was a disastrous performance. By his own admission now. First, there was the excuse that he had a cold. Then there was the excuse that he was jet-lagged. And also, this is not an isolated incident. And when he talked to Democrats, behind the scenes, behind the mask, they are panicking.
Our leaders met just last night. And mind you, this was a group that supported Bernie Sanders in 2022. And the leaders met last night and said, we are 100% behind Joe Biden. It's his decision to make whether he stays in the race. He has been a fantastic president, and we'd like to see more of this for another 4 years.
But isn't it time to do the right thing for either the party or his family to take the keys away from Granddad?
Well, again, I think that's a little bit harsh. I mean,
but I'm sorry, this is the truth of it. I mean, look at the performance.
But the larger picture here is an incredibly strong one. Donald Trump knows this. He's been after Biden for forever and ever. He knows that Biden is a very strong candidate because he has an incredible record of success and an awful lot of popularity.
In the opinion polls now, not only is Biden sinking compared to Trump, especially in the key swing states, but also the Vice President Kamala Harris, who used to be less popular than Trump, is now becoming more popular. I mean, at some stage, you're going to have to make a decision here, aren't you?
Well, that's fine. I mean, like I say, I think Biden has set, informally, I think that he has set a timetable for making a decision. From what I understand, in the last 24 hours or so, he has said, look, I'm meeting with governors, which he did last night. I'm taking their advice. I'm going to sit down for a big interview with one of the leading journalists in the states for a long format interview. And over the next couple of days, you know, watch me, watch what I do, and I'll make a decision. But I am in this with Harris, and I'm going to run like hell while I'm the candidate. And if he makes another decision in a couple of days, we'll see.
So what you're hearing from, you know, from headquarters back in D.C. is that actually he may decide to bow out in the next 48 or 72 hours or whenever.
Look, it is his decision to make, as I said. So whatever he decides, nobody is going to force him out. Everybody will give him plenty of advice. He will weigh it up and make his decision.
But the issue here is also this, isn't it? If American democracy is on the line, and after the Supreme Court's ruling this week, you could argue that the Republic is in real peril here. Why not give it the best shot at defeating the imperial presidency? And a man who comes across as frankly senile in some of the most important public appearances, as Biden has done, is not the best shot you've got.
I think he is a great shot, but look, as I've said,
the best
I think
shot,
he is weighing all...
The best shot we're talking about.
Well,
is this the best the Democrats can do?
I think he is weighing it all up. And as I said, one of the good things about this is that we're looking more closely at Donald Trump and all of his many flaws. We're also looking very carefully at the very deep bench of talent that the Democrats have in Harris and some of the governors and some of the senators that we have. But in the meantime, Joe Biden is our candidate.
The whole point of the Constitution was to get rid, not just of us, the Brits, but also of the monarchy, right? and now you're showing President Biden in his old age and his fragility the kind of deference that only a monarch once upon a time used to expect.
I think if we have a conversation again in a week, things are going to look very different. I think we just got to get a little bit further away from this one event to look at the bigger picture.
Okay, but John Scardina, you've just broken some major news then on our channel, because what's not going to be very different is the miraculous rejuvenation of Joe Biden, the 81-year-old man. The only thing that could be as dramatic as what you just hinted at is that he will remove himself from the ticket. So you obviously think that that's what's going to happen.
I didn't say that. The decision is his to make. If he stays in the race, we are 100% behind him.
If I was the presidential tooth fairy, would you say to me, dear tooth fairy, please remove Joe Biden from the ticket and we'll find someone like Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, you know, who's more, frankly, more able to do this job, not just until November the 5th, but also for the next 4 years.
Biden's record is extraordinary. This was a moment in time. That debate was not great. It
Are
was
you
a moment
sure
in
he
time,
can run
and
for
what
another-
I've seen?
Are you happy with him governing the country for another 4 years? Seriously?
If he says that he is up for it and his doctors and everybody say that he is up for it, then why not? I mean, the guy has, you know, done a phenomenal job.
Happy 4th of July. Thank you very much for the interview, Joe Scardino.
Thank you very much, Matt.